Rich here from the RCNetwork.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Hobbymate D6 Duo Pro. This is one of their newest chargers for both LiPo, lihv, and various other battery chemistries out there. Now, what's so special about this is how small it is. This thing measures in at about 4¼ inches, and that's just the box. This thing is super tiny. It's a dual port charger, and it packs a lot of bang for your buck inside this box. Speaking of inside the box, there's not a whole lot inside that tiny box. Of course, you have the D6 Duo Pro charger. You get the AC power cord that plugs into any AC outlet in your home. And then you get a very small pamphlet that has just some basic information about the charger, including what this is and what that is on the actual charger. Looking at some of the specs of the D6 Duo Pro, it has quite a lot to offer. Now, of course, this is a dual channel, so you can charge 2 batteries at the same time. It also is AC and DC compatible, so you can charge through your home outlets straight with the included plug, or add an additional power supply, meaning DC, and making it even more powerful, up to 325 watts. Now, this is a 200-watt internal power supply, so it can do about 100 watts per channel, which is pretty good. As far as battery types you can charge on this charger, you can do lithium high voltage, lithium polymer, lihv, lithium ion, LAXX, NiZN, NiCad, nickel metal hydride, and a couple other ones like lead acid and smart batteries. It does have a USB output, so you can charge some of your smart devices like phones and iPads and that type of stuff. The included screen is 2.8 inches, and the dimensions in millimeters are 108 by 105 by 76. Taking a look at the D6 up close, this is a pretty cool little charger. Just holding it in the palm of my hand practically, this thing is pretty tiny. Now, there's that 2.8 inch screen. You do have a scroll wheel right here, and it clicks down to verify the commands that you're suggesting. You have a channel select button right there. On the front of it, these are included connectors. Now, a little bit different from what I've seen in the past, where you have all these different dongles and whatnot to add onto your charger. This has XT60s built right in, so very convenient for a lot of the FPV drones out there. They use a lot of the XT60s and some of the lower voltage batteries out there like 2S and some 3S batteries you'll see with XT60s. Just have included balance boards right built in. Plug your balance plug straight into here, your actual plus and minus in, and you're ready to charge, which is pretty convenient. The bottom side here, we just have a port here to allow some heat dissipation. On this side, which is pretty cool, you have the USB mini plug here for updates on the software. You do have a 5-volt, 2.1 amp output for charging some of your smart devices, which is pretty cool. And what I just noticed on here after reading a little bit, there's actually a wireless charging pad up here for some compatible devices. This is cool. As we flip to the back of it, we have another port here for it looks like a fan, and then you have your AC in for your wall outlet, or if you want to put DC in for an external power supply, you can do that as well. Plugging in the D6, and we'll see how this thing operates up. Does a little self-check, and now it's ready to start charging. Now, what's pretty cool about this charger is it's pretty simple. Now, there's only 2 buttons right here to configure the channel, which goes through channel 1, channel 2, and this kind of dual screen right here that shows you the voltage of your battery. And then as you get into the channels, it'll tell you individual cells and everything else you want to know. Now, you do have this little scroll wheel right here that, although the sound is a little annoying, this thing is pretty intuitive. You basically just go back and forth, select which options you want, and just click it down to verify those options. Now, as I take just a simple little XT60 battery right here, I'm going to plug it in. As soon as I plug it in, you're going to start seeing the voltage ramp up on channel 1 right there. So it immediately tells you how much voltage this battery pack has. And then as I plug in the balance port right here, we'll be able to tell some of the individual cells down here on the bottom. So pretty cool little system how this does this. Now, once I'm in this menu right here, I just go ahead and hit the channel 1 right here, or the channel select, we're on channel 1. This is giving me the individual cells right here, the total voltage of the battery, and then of course as you start the command of charging, it'll start ramping up the amperage that's going in as well as the MAHs that are being added to this battery. Now to configure everything, you just click this and it goes into a whole screen here of different items that you can control, like the charge type right here. So if we go all the way up, we can select charge, discharge, external discharge, storage, and balance. So pretty much a full feature charger. I'm going to choose charge right there. We have lithium polymer as the selected battery chemistry. You do have a cell voltage, which is configurable up to 4.35, which is pretty cool. So you can take care of all of those lithium high voltage type of batteries. And then of course the cell count, and the current setting of 1.5 amps. This is a very small battery. I'm going to charge it at a pretty low rate, although it does have an option to charge all the way up to 15 amps. So pretty powerful for this small of a charger. Now down here at the very bottom, start task, we're just going to go ahead and start charging up this battery. So you can see here the amperage, the MAHs that are being added, the total time, and then the total voltage right there with individual cells of how much voltage is in each cell down to the 1000th, which is pretty good. So as I have a battery charging right there, I went ahead and grabbed a USB to Lightning connector for my iPhone. So just going to go ahead and plug it in here and instantly starts charging. So it's a pretty cool little added feature to have a USB port kind of on the side so you can charge at that 2.1 amps, which is pretty cool. Now, as far as the top wireless charger here, I don't really have any wireless devices except for my Apple Watch, and I've tested it on here a couple times, and besides it just turning on, it doesn't really seem to be charging. So this might not be a compatible device. Now, with this charger, I was able to pick up a couple of adapters. Now, this is an XT60 to an XT90 right here, and an XT60 to a Dean's plug, which are pretty much the only batteries that I use. XT90s for my 3S and above, and I use Dean still for some of my 2S applications. So this will pretty much get me everything I need with this charger. So it's pretty cool to have these little adapters, and I'll have links to each one of these down in the video description along with the Hobbymate D6. Well guys, that's a quick little look at the Hobbymate D6 Duo Pro. I love seeing some of these new chargers that are hitting the market, especially how small they're getting, how many features they pack in to that small box, and of course giving us a great value in the end. Well guys, if you have any comments or questions about this item, I'll have links down in the video description so you can check out the Hobbymate D6 as well as some of those adapters. And if I have an update on the wireless feature, I'll put that down there as well. Well guys, that is it for now. Comments, questions down below, and as always, thumbs up and subscribe. That's it for now guys. Over and out.